Help, I've fallen, and I can't get up. You know it, you love it. It's Life Alert commercials. Now, did you know they made one that they released and then they pulled it? They unreleased it because it was really upsetting to people. I imagine you may have seen the other ones that are borderline comical, but they released one that was just like slow pans of an empty house, and in the background you could hear an old woman wailing in pain, crying out for help, but there's no one in the house, and the whole thing is super dark and rather upsetting. But if you watch it, maybe you think to yourself, ooh, that could be my grandma. I would not want that to happen to my grandma. Maybe we should buy Life Alert. Now, look at these dogs. Look at these kitties. Oh, in the arms of the angels, far away from here. You feel that? You feel that? Feel that? Feel that pain in your heart? You want to get rid of that pain? All you got to do is sponsor one of these little animals for hardly anything a month. Just send them the money. You'll feel better. You know what those ads are using? Pathos. Pathos. Pathos is the attempt to elicit feeling from whoever it is you're trying to persuade. In Life Alert, they're trying to tap into the fear, worry, anxiety about caring for the older people that you love. In those animal shelter commercials, they're trying to appeal to, I call it the aw factor, which I'm sure there's a better word for it. And you would think an English teacher would know these better words, but the manipulation of emotions is part of rhetoric. It's part of persuasive language. That Life Alert commercial in particular focuses on fear and worry. Certainly not the only place where that's happening. Home alarm systems. I remember seeing the commercial where wife and daughter come home and then there's a smash and there's a scary man dressed in all black breaking through the sliding glass door. And hey, you know what you should probably buy? This home alarm system. Maybe you've heard the term FOMO, fear of missing out. We see that fear taken advantage of with events quite often. Buy tickets to this event or you won't be there, and you'll never be able. You're not going to get another chance to go now, are you? Granted, sometimes the feelings they're looking to elicit are a bit more positive, a bit more optimistic. Watch a commercial for a Jeep. If you watch those commercials, apparently, if you buy a Jeep, then your life is going to be so much different. You're going to be driving off-road and camping with a dog, but first you got to buy that Jeep. Sometimes Pathos will try to tap into anger, like, do you guys know this commercial? If you have a structured settlement, but you need cash now, sing it. 877 cash now, that's right. Besides producing a super irritating earworm, those commercials let the viewers know that, hey, if you got cash coming to you, and it's your money, and you want it now, you see how they're tapping into the, why should you have to listen to when somebody else is going to give you your money? You know, call us, we'll get you your money. It's yours. You see it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The whole, like, yeah, they can't just hold on to my money. It's my money. So you're probably thinking, wow, Mr. C, thank you so much for the so many examples of what pathos is and the different forms it could take. And, you know, you're welcome. But you're also probably thinking, when is he going to get to explaining what this has to do with our essay? I will get to that right about now. Okay, so here's how you can increase the level of pathos in our upcoming essay about whether or not the internet is having a negative impact on our brains. It's going to depend on which stance you're taking. Now, if you're going to be taking the stance that the internet is having a negative effect on our thinking, I'm going to suggest that you try to elicit some sort of like a pessimistic fear And here's how you can do it. One of the things you can do is bring up its impact on kids, because kids are innocent and helpless. And it's impossible to be on the side of anything or anyone that is hurting kids. So let me give you an example. In text 1, lines 26 through 29, Michelle Nelson, an art teacher at Estes Hill Elementary School in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, seems to share Carr's concern. Nelson, who's been teaching for more than 9 years, says it was obvious with her middle school students and even her 15-year-old daughter that they are unable to read long text anymore. Did you notice the focus on not only kids at her school, but her own daughter too? Another thing you can do if you're going to take that stance that the internet is having a negative effect on our thinking is to take an approach that is maybe a little bit over dramatic, kind of give like a dismal vision of the future. That's certainly going to elicit emotions. Look at this. This is from text 2, lines 59 through 61. Dazzled by the net's treasures, we are blind to the damage we may be doing to our intellectual lives and even our culture. That's a significant statement. Maybe bigger than it deserves, but go big or go home when it comes to eliciting emotions. I mean, if you don't believe me, try to ask someone to marry you by saying, hey, I think you're all right. You want to get married? Now, what if you're taking the other stance, the one that says the internet is not having a horrible impact on our thinking? For that approach, I would suggest that you up the ethos by trying to make your reader feel optimistic about the future. If you look at text 3, we see that done there. Check out text 3, lines 1 through 7, the very beginning. The idea that we could invent tools that change our cognitive abilities might sound outlandish, but it's actually a defining feature of human evolution. When our ancestors developed language, it altered not only how they could communicate, but how they could think. Mathematics, the printing press, and science further extended the reach of the human mind. And by the 20th century, tools such as telephones, calculators, and Encyclopedia Britannica gave people easy access to more knowledge about the world than they could absorb in a lifetime. That text opens with celebrating technical advancements of information technology. The author of text 3 starts by giving his reader hope for a future, for a brighter future. Yeah, there's going to be changes to our brains, but it's okay because it's happened before. Now, a slightly different approach that you could incorporate as well in terms of pathos is, now this one's a little bit weird, I gotta be honest, but if you look at the end of text 3, lines 66 and 67, maybe the Nicholas Carr of the day said, hey, language is making us stupider, Chalmers jokes. Now, admittedly, in those lines, the emotions that he's trying to elicit is kind of almost like an air of superiority. That is a powerful emotion we see used a lot of times. I do ask you to be careful with that one. Chucking people under the bus, it can come back to haunt you. But in terms of, you want to try that with this essay, yeah, I think it's something you can do, especially maybe in your counterclaim, when you bring up the opposing sides, and you could be like, well, this guy says that, and then you can up the pathos by saying, but do they really know what they're talking about when you include your rebuttal? All right, I better shut up pretty soon so you have time for the celebration of knowledge. Some people like to call it a quiz, which is also in Schoology. And now that we've finished watching the video, it'll now be unlocked. I think you're going to do great on that quiz. As always, if you need help, reach out. Questions, reach out. Something seems to be broken with the internet land, reach out. I'll see what I can do. I gotcha. All right, so that's about it for today. We got one more of these on Monday. That'll be on Logos. So awesome. We'll see you then.